easy and appealing to me. I don't have to go and charge my Duracell batteries, and if I do have to, in fact, charge the controller, I can just plug it in and play while charging, which is really convenient. It is extremely comfortable. I gotta be honest, from using my Pro controller and moving back to my DualShock 3, which is my PS3 controller, it certainly feels like the PS3 controller is super small and uncomfortable compared to the Pro controller. It really is comfy. Another benefit of it is that you don't need two controllers. You don't need the nunchuck and the Wii remote, of course, comparing the Wii remote here. So it's less space consuming. Of course, it's smaller than the Pro controller. It's smaller than the Wii remote and nunchuck, I believe, because it's not two actual controllers. It's smaller than the gamepad, of course, and because of the fact that the Classic Controller Pro still needs to hook up to the Wii remote, I believe it is, in fact, the smallest controller we can use. It's definitely easier to transfer over games. I feel like this really should have been implemented a long time ago, but it hasn't with the Wii remote. You always have to kind of change the settings a bit every single game. Even with the Classic Controller Pro, for some reason they messed up the controller sensitivities from Black Ops to Modern Warfare 3. But as far as the Pro controller and the gamepad go, all the settings seem to carry on over the games, from Black Ops 2 to Call of Duty Ghosts. Also, it's very easy to snipe with. My first time using the Pro controller, any dual analog on the Wii remote. My first time using dual analog was Classic Controller Pro. That was on Black Ops on the Wii, and I got a collateral followed by just an epic kill feed. I didn't even witness the collateral, but it was a no-scope collateral wall bang. You know, nothing too awesome, but it was pretty cool, especially since I didn't even notice getting it. And the Pro controller sniping in Black Ops 2 was relatively easier than using the Wii remote. However, the aim assist on the Wii remote did grant a little bit of I guess you could say, balance. I believe that balance is lost in Ghost, though, so I definitely would say it's definitely a lot better and easier to snipe with the dual analog controller, specifically the Pro controller, it being the smallest and most conformed of all the controllers on this console. I tend to be generally more accurate with it, too. I've noticed that with all my Wii Remote KDRs, or Wii Remote accuracies for every Call of Duty, it happens to be on average lower than it happens to be with any dual analog controller I actually happen to be using at the time. So, Classic Controller Pro has better accuracy than the Wii Remote. Pro Controller, far superior accuracy than the Wii Remote. In fact, with the Pro Controller in Black Ops 2, I had, on average, a higher accuracy, I think, than most people on my devices. And right now, I'm using the Wii Remote prominently, and I don't have that. Along with that, it's also easier to control kill streaks. It's really just less of a hassle to control kill streaks, which can be quite difficult when attempting to use kill streaks you actually control. Even the Loki is a bit tedious to use because you not only do you have to scroll the actual cursor of the Loki, but you have to actually aim at it with the Wii remote too, which may or may not be better. I personally find it a little bit more tedious, but it may in fact be better. I'm not totally sure on there. I think that's completely opinion based. But go ahead and check that out for yourselves. It's definitely a bit hard to control other kill streaks as well. So again, it all just comes down to you guys. You should definitely try using it. I always find it more difficult to use the Wii remote though, and that was my main basis on Black Ops 2, was I couldn't control any of the actual controllable kill streaks with the Wii remote. It was just too much of a hassle. And in fact, I used them primarily for the single-player campaign on Black Ops 2 because of the fact that there was a lot of kill streak usage, and the Wii remote was really difficult to control kill streaks with. So I in fact started with the Wii remote, so I switched over to the Pro controller during my Let's Play playthrough / whatever you want to call it. As well as, finally, the last pro I can actually think of right now is that you can actually position it closer. You can position yourself closer to the TV than with motion controls. As you might know, with the Wii remote and nunchuck, you must be at a suitable distance for it to actually work as it's supposed to work effectively. However, with the Pro controller, you can just plant your face right in front of the TV. and you can just aim the controller under the desk, for example. So you don't have to actually be aiming at the little bar the Wii U has. So you can get closer to it. And in my position in my bedroom, it's a lot more comfortable to sit on my desk and on my chair closer to my TV than it is to sit farther away from it, since I don't have much space to actually push my chair out. Moving on from there, let's go ahead and discuss the cons. The cons, actually, I was kind of hard set to find any cons with this, but after quite a time of thinking, these are the cons I came up with. Well, the button layouts are a bit more difficult. That's something that came to me almost immediately, because it's true. The first time I got the Classic Controller Pro in Black Ops, it was really hard to jump. I kept missing jumps, where versus before I would just easily hop over walls. And I mean, the button layout on the Wii Remote is just too perfect. You can do everything that needs doing immediately. Over here, depending on whether you're using tactical or the regular layout, kind of difficult. If you want a knife, the button's a little out of your way. And of course, when I say out of your way, it's not too out of the way. It's kind of an awkward scenario where you have to just quickly aim down, because you lose the power to actually turn and look, and because of that you can actually miss your knives. Of course you can, and it also makes it a little bit tedious to jump, where versus with the Wii Remote you can easily just hop, sprint, and knife at the same time. It's really incredible. So that's definitely something that you lose with the analog controls. It's also along with that, speaking from personal experience, switching from Pro Controller to PS3 DualShock 3 is really painful. After having played a really long time with the Wii Remote, with the Pro Controller, and not having touched my PS3, after this initial DLC came out for the PS3 version of Black Ops 2, I switched over, and moving my fingers from the outstretched style, my thumbs moving